I'm here with an interview today with the great one and only Marshall Turner. How are you doing today, sir?
Oh, it's an interview. So I'm a guest on my own show?
Yeah.
Lovely. That's beautiful.
Absolutely. So what do we got for today for this interview?
I quickly want to just go over Fight Island 5, Marias versus Sandehagen. And then we're going to quickly go over the Fight Island 6, Zombie versus Ortega. And then we're going to talk about Lomachenko versus Lopez.
Yeah. It was okay of a fight night. I mean, there were some crazy knockouts.
Man, shout out to Joaquin Bucky. I think it's Joaquin Bucky? Or
something like that.
God, man, one of the most viral things I've ever seen in my life. That was.
Yeah, it was like kickboxer coming out of the screen.
Man, he beat that man like he stole something. That was some straight black on black play.
Absolutely, that was crazy. My takeaway from the card actually though was Tracy Cortez.
The fight was terrible.
I know, but still, were you distracted a little bit?
It was like I couldn't look away, but for all the wrong reasons, you know. The fight was terrible. I just was honing in on that moon-shaped behind she had there.
There you go. No, my actual takeaway from the card was the Edson Barboza fight.
It looked really good.
Yeah, it was nice to see him get a win at featherweight. What did you want to talk about the main event?
Yeah, I thought Marias was going to blitz him early. Like we saw Aljo get out early and get the finish. I thought Marias would have come out hard and got a quick finish, or either burnt out and late. But he didn't really do much. He kind of sat back and let Corey do his thing, and Corey just kickboxed the shit out of him.
Yeah, it was a horrible performance by Marias. Definitely going to drop in the rankings this week, which he could bounce back though, so he has the potential. I
think we need to see Marias versus Aldo too.
That'd be a good fight. That makes sense. Or I don't know. I would like to see Aldo get something easier first, in my opinion, just to get him back on track.
He won the first fight pretty easily. He just got robbed.
That's true. Well, we'll have to see. Every fight's different.
Then Sandman kind of in a weird place because he has to wait for Aljo to fight Jan for the title, and that fight hasn't been announced yet, so I don't know when that's going to happen. So I think what you do with Aljo is you wait till January and you fight TJ. I mean, for Sandman versus TJ in January.
I think TJ's automatically going to get a title shot, so I think that's why Aljo hasn't been announced yet. I think they're going to screw him and give TJ the title shot. That's why Dana White keeps being like, hey, you're not the contender rate, because they know TJ's coming back. You're going to get TJ versus Peter Yan first. I think Peter Yan wins that fight, and then Peter Yan will fight Aljo. So I think a fight that needs to be made right now would be Frankie Edgar versus Sandman. Makes sense?
No, that fight was supposed to happen before. Then the Korean Zombie took off Frankie's face, and Sandman thing that he's been doing. I don't think it makes any sense. Frankie Edgar, he's still solid, but I think he's hurt badly by Corey. I don't want to see Corey just use him to build his name. I think the TJ fight makes more sense. Give TJ a title fight right when he comes back. He's coming off of a vicious knockout. I know it's a weight down, but he's coming off a long layoff, and he went away for bad reasons. Let's not think this is steroids. It's real hard steroids. Guy's using EPO. I don't want to see him get a title shot right away. He'll be 34 when he gets back, turning 35 in February. He's still right at the end of his prime there, even though these younger guys do prime out a little bit younger. TJ takes care of himself. I think he's going to be solid. I think Sandman versus TJ is a fight to make. But I don't. If they do Frankie versus Sandman, I'm good.
Yeah, there's a lot that we could do right now. I just hope Aljo doesn't get screwed. That's
right.
I want to talk about quick. I want to give some results on Bellator. We had Michael Page. Did you catch that fight? I didn't. I seen he won a decision.
Yeah, so first round was close. He was controlling the first 2.5 minutes of stand-up. Then he got taken down and controlled for the last half of the round, but the guy didn't land a single shot. He just kind of got held in the guard, and MVP held on to him. Second round, MVP lands some good shots on the feet. Then MVP takes him down and does some vicious ground and pound, so his ground game looked improved on the top game. And then the third round was, I don't know, it was kind of a coin flip. And then the end, MVP, I think, got a takedown or did some cage control and won the third round close. It was a close fight. But because of damage, MVP definitely won the fight. So he looked good.
Good. It's nice to see him actually win a fight without having to just strike, honestly. There was also Czech Congo he lost to Timothy Hamilton. Yeah, in a rematch.
Johnson.
So he's not getting that title shot, and it looks like Timothy Hamilton. I think it's Timothy Hamilton. Huh?
It's Johnson.
Oh, Timothy Johnson. Sorry. The speaker was going out a second while you're saying it. I think he gets the title shot against Ryan Bader.
Bro, I'm pass next. Give Fedor the title shot. I don't want to see that. Timothy Johnson, didn't he get like destroyed by somebody like not too long ago in Bellator cage?
Long ago.
Right, and this is why did they even fight again? I don't understand why they had the rematch.
Because he's had 2 good wins since then. He's beat Matt Mitrione and stuff.
Yeah, hard pass for me. Hard pass on Johnson versus Bader. Give me Fedor versus Bader too. I'll take that. I mean, bring back Chael Sonnen. I'll take Sonnen versus. Huh?
We're getting Verdum versus Fedor.
I'll take that. That'll work too.
There we go. All right, so we got some fights this weekend. What do you want to talk about first, the boxing or the MMA?
Do the UFC first because I don't think there's a whole lot to say. We'll get through that, and then we'll hone in on the pay-per-view attraction this weekend.
Well, let's start off. There's 3 cards. So let's just talk about the main event of Bellator this weekend.
What do we got?
We got Chris Cyborg versus Arlene Blanco.
Okay. Cyborg's coming back to steal another girl's soul.
Blanco actually is a good contender. She's had close fights with Julia Budd. I don't know if you're familiar with her, but she had 2 close fights with her. But Chris Cyborg by knockout, second round.
Look what Cyborg just did to Julia Budd. Close fight don't mean nothing. Julia Budd, a good champion. She takes care of herself. She was doing work over Bellator. Chris Cyborg came over. She's Canadian too, so shout out to Julia Budd. Then Cyborg comes over, the Brazilian savage, takes her out in vicious fashion, and it's just gonna be the Scott Coker feeding sheep to the wolves over there for Chris Cyborg. She's gonna go undefeated until either she gets really old or decides to hang it up.
She's trying to erase that Amanda Nunes win. Loss.
What we need is Kayla Harrison to bring herself over to Bellator from PFL and get that Cyborg Kayla Harrison fight.
That would be nice, absolutely. All right, let's talk about the great UFC card that we got this weekend. But before that, we'll start off with this one fight on that card. On the prelims, we got Gillian Robertson. She is fighting. Who is she fighting?
Pauliano Patella.
And if you haven't seen the interview with Gillian, check it out. It's doing really well, and she's an amazing person. So check that out.
It's Gillian.
Gillian.
It's Gillian?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Sorry, my bad, Gillian. That was Gillian. Anyways, she's Canadian. Shout out to her. She's from Niagara Falls, Canada. That was a great interview, Brady. You did a good job. So if you haven't checked that out, like Brady said, check that out. But before we get into the 2 or 3 fights we're going to talk about, I want to talk about the first fight in the card. Said Nurmagomedov is fighting Mark Striegel. And shout out to Said Nurmagomedov. Sorry, I might not be saying that right. He is like the ugly stepchild that nobody knows because he's not related to Khabib. He's not related to their other brother, other cousin in the UFC, and not the little brother that's fighting in Bellator. He just happens to have the same name. So use that Nurmagomedov name and make a name for yourself, even though you're not related to any of them. So I respect this guy. Good for him.
There you go. Yeah, and I hope he gets the win this weekend.
Me too. Okay, what fight are we starting with? Gillian. Let's go with Gillian Roberts versus Pauliano Patella. What do you think?
I got her by first round submission. She's just a submission queen, and she's going to go in there and put in work.
Patella, she's got a lot of knockouts. She's got 8 wins, 6 by knockout or TKO. But she
hasn't beat anyone.
No, that's what, she hasn't beat the same competition that Roberts has been in the cage with. I got Roberts in my first or second round sub. If you haven't listened to the interview yet, she said she's going out there to get her neck and just choke her out.
And that's how it's going to be done.
Okay, let's move on to the main card. Jimmy Crute is taking on Modestas Bukauskas.
I actually just got Jimmy Crute by unanimous decision. I'm not going to talk too much about this fight.
Jimmy Crute, I mean, he's doing the damn thing. He beat Sam Alvey. I think he beat Paul Craig. And he had a little slip up there against Misha Serkinov. Guy he's fighting doesn't have a Wikipedia page. There's not much else to say about this. This is that Bellator treatment. They're feeding him to a sheep to the wolves. Jimmy Crute's he's solid. Like he's a bad fighter, but he should roll through this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. He should get a unanimous decision, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Caitlin Chukagian is taking on Jessica Andrade for Andrade's first fight at flyweight. What do you think?
You know what? I was gonna. At first, I was gonna go with Andrade, but then I remembered like Chukagian's last fight, and she looked amazing, and I thought she was gonna get starched. I don't think anyone beats her besides Valentina in that division, and I got Caitlin by unanimous decision. She's going to take her down and grind her out. She's going to be the bigger girl in there, and she's going to be able to have her way.
And I don't know, man. Caitlin's a wizard on the mat. She has a crazy ground. The blonde fighter is serious, like you said. I think the only person that beats her in that division is the Bullet. Andrade moving up. It's kind of a last-ditch effort because she lost her belt in devastating fashion to Zhang Weili. Then she pulls one out of the hat and before that and beats Rose. So she really should have lost both of those fights. Rose was dominating. And then she loses the rematch to Rose. So she's won in the last 3 fights, but she kind of got lucky with that first Rose fight. So she realizes the only way the title shot is moving up because she's not going to beat Zhang and she's not going to beat Rose. We know that. And she also lost to Joanna. So I think this one, she moves up. She's really cool for the division. Caitlin Chukagian, I think she's going to submit her when she gets tired.
Yeah, I got it by unanimous decision. It's ground and pound and having her way, but I think Andrade is too tough to get submitted, but we'll see.
Okay, Cyril Gane is taking on Ante Delija, another dude who has no Wikipedia page. They're just trying to build Cyril Gane. I'm going to say first round knockout. What do you got?
Yeah, I got Cyril by first round knockout, but it's heavyweight, so you never know.
Exactly. Okay. Brian Ortega is taking on Chan Sung Jung, better known as the Korean Zombie. Okay, before we get into this fight, I just want to talk about why is Zombie ranked above Yair Rodriguez in the rank when Yair knocked him out cold? I don't understand that.
People forget that whole fight. They give no Yair any. They give no.
It was just over a year. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's weird. I think that Brian Ortega. This is a toss-up of a fight. I can't actually pick this one. This one's hard. He's coming off a long layoff. Who do you got?
Honestly, I think this was a terrible matchup for Ortega. Unless he's taken all of that time that in his layoff to work on his hands, maybe he's gone down to wild card. He's from LA, that worked on his boxing. I don't see what he can do with Zombie, man. Zombie is a monster. What he did to Frankie Edgar was just rude. That Yair Rodriguez fight was an amazing fight. Going into the last round, he got starched, but it was back and forth all the way. I don't know, man. I think Zombie's going to stop him. I'm going to say second or third round. He's going to wear him down and TKO, similar to the Max Holloway stoppage, but Zombie's got more pop Holloway. It'll be a little earlier, so I'm going to say third round.
I got a second round knockout by Korean Zombie. I think he hits a lot harder than Max Holloway, and if it's standing, which it's probably going to be, Korean Zombie's just going to pick him apart and finish him off. I just don't see a way that Brian Ortega could win this fight, because even on the ground, Zombie's amazing. Yeah,
this is bad for his health. Like, Zombie only loses to the top guys. Yair Rodriguez, Jose Aldo. He beat Mark Hominick back in the day. Shout out to Mark Hominick, London Zone. But this dude is a monster. Zombie, if he wins this fight, I think he's one fight after this away from a title shot. But the UFC will give him the title shot just because he has a big name over there in Asia. But in my opinion, he's still one fight away.
Yeah, he'll get the title shot, but I would like to see him fight like as a Beat or a Calvin Kattar.
Zombie Kattar is just, sign me, take my money, take all of my money.
Yeah, that'd be a nice fight. But yeah, I think he'll get a title shot for sure.
Okay, so moving on, we have the First boxing pay-per-view this side of the pond this year. We got Vasyl Lomachenko taking on his biggest test to date in Teófimo López. What do you think, Brady?
I love The Matrix, and not talking about the movie. I actually like the movie itself too, so shout out to that. But this one's a hard one, and I'm a big Lomachenko fan, but I just think that you're going to see an outcoming party for Lopez, and he's going to win a decision.
You're taking Lopez decision?
Yeah.
Man, see, I think if Lopez wins, he has to catch him, which he can. He's faster and hits harder than Linares. If Linares sat him down with the right hand, if Lopez touched him with that right hand, it might be curtains. We all remember that Vasyl has come up 2 or 3 divisions since before being at 135. He's very small for 135. His last fight against Luke Campbell, we saw his vulnerabilities at the division. He had a hard time getting in on Campbell early. He figured him out and he got inside. That's what he does. He's the Matrix. But this isn't Luke Campbell. This is Teófimo López. This is a different animal. I don't know, man. This is hard to coin flip me. I think either Teófimo beats him by stoppage or points by a bunch of knockdowns throughout the fight, or Lomachenko cruises to a unanimous decision.
But that means Lomo's chin is kind of questionable.
I don't know if it's questionable. It's just he's fighting big dudes, man. He's fighting really big guys for him.
Yeah. But I do have Teófimo, I can't even pronounce it right, Lopez by unanimous decision, running around 8 rounds.
Okay, I'm going to go Vasyl Lomachenko by unanimous decision, but I think Lopez drops him at least once along the way. That's what I'm going to go with.
Okay, I think it's going to be close to a point, but I just think I have a gut feeling. You know, those gut feelings where you just think something's going to be an upset, and this has the potential for that.
This fight has upset written all over it. People are counting Teófimo out. If you don't know, go watch Teófimo versus Richard Coleman on the undercard of Terrence Crawford's last fight. I think he knocked the guy out in the second round. Cold, man, vicious, violent. He's the future. You got him, Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis, and Evan Haney, all of the young guys in the lightweight division. No one has shown me what Teófimo is. Teófimo is this crown jewel in that right now.
Absolutely. It's going to be a good weekend of fights. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I just want to give a shout out to Arnold Barboza, who is fighting on the undercard. He's a top 10 fighter in the junior welterweight rankings, which is a stacked division. We just had Ivan Branchik take on Jose Zepeda last weekend and what might have been fight of the year. Barboza is supposed to be coming on the show. We're trying to work it out. We're going back and forth. We're going to figure it out. But shout out to Arnold Barboza fighting the co-main event, taking on Alex Saucedo, who is 30-1. So that guy's got a solid record as well. Barboza's 24-0. Watch out for Arnold Barboza.
Sweet. And that's what we got for you this weekend, guys. Enjoy the fights. It's going to be a big weekend.
And we'll be back next week with the reviews and then the predictions for Khabib versus Gaethje coming up next week.
Plus, I got Lauren Murphy coming back on the show.
Beautiful. All right, guys, we're out.